not somewhere else, in Britain, in 2007, 30 million prescriptions of Prozac were given out. Now the population of Britain is 60 million. Now take away kids and people maybe who are too old. That's a lot of people. So the question we should be asking is, if this idea of live life to the max and freedom is so great, why are 30 million people or 30 million prescriptions being handed out? Why is that? A second example, depression, suicide. In this society, the second highest killer is not murder, it's not overdose, unintentional overdose or something like that. It's intentional suicide, i.e. someone takes their own life by hanging themselves or by overdosing or by, whatever. This is the second highest killer in this society. Again, the question we should be asking ourselves is, if this society, these ideas that they teach us are so good, are so great about live life to the max, why are their own people not happy? Why is it that 30 million prescriptions of Prozac are handed out a year? Why is it that the second highest killer is suicide? A third example, and I'm going to link this now to ourselves, something we need to think about. This idea of live life to the max and enjoy yourself. And satisfy your instincts. This idea, does it create happiness in the individual? Does it make the individual happy? This is for us all to think about and then to look at for the wider society. In this society, they have a big sexual problem. A very, very big sexual problem. I know we have some younger people in the audience, so I'm not going to go into too much details, yeah? But I'll mention some names of some things, and you can... Don't research it, actually. I'll just mention it very briefly, yeah? They believe that you should enjoy yourself and you're free to do what you want. They say, so long as you don't harm anyone, do what you want. So, the thing of men and women having relationships outside of marriage, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But that leads to something else, because after a while you do that and you do that and you do that, but it's no longer, it may not have the same excitement it had when you initially did it. So what do they move to? They could move to things like homosexuality. And hence we see homosexuality is on the rise. In Britain and across many European countries and Western countries. And in fact even in some of our countries, to be honest. Because they've been influenced by these countries, by the Western countries. And if it's not homosexuality, then we hear of other strange things, like necrophilia. What is that? That is where people have relationships with dead bodies. Wallahi billah, this is not made up. Research it. Well, again, sorry, don't research it actually. Another thing, bestiality. What is that? That is where people they're not even interested in human beings no more. They go to animals. They go to animals. Because human beings don't satisfy them no more. And we hear of there's many other strange type of sexual perversions, perverted type of practices these people do. What is the point? The point is this idea of freedom and live your life to the max is actually a ridiculous idea, because the human being is never satisfied. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, if the son of Adam was given a valley of gold, he would want a second valley of gold. So Islam understands the nature of human beings. When you have something, you get frustrated, you want something else. You want something else. So this society tells you, just follow your desires. Wherever your desires take you, go after it. And hence you see in this society, like sexually transmitted diseases are so widespread. There's so many diseases because of their relationships they have outside of marriage. Are so widespread, so many amongst young people, amongst old people. And this is for the individual. Now let's talk about the society. This idea of freedom, if this idea was so great, if this idea was going to bring humanity out of the darkness and make us into really great people, make us happy, why is it in this society 1 in 4 women will be sexually abused in their lifetime? And this is not me making up statistics, it's on the government website, Home Office. Go to the Home Office website, the information's there. 1 in 4 women will be sexually abused in their lifetime in the United Kingdom, in Britain. Now, this idea of freedom is creating a problem, isn't it? Why is it that 1 in 4 women can expect this to happen to her? Why is that? Because someone is using their freedom, what they view as freedom, live life to the max, and now he is imposing himself upon another person, upon other people. And it's not just in these type of sexual acts, it's in violence. We've seen rise in violence, isn't it? You see gun crime or knife crime. This is rising, isn't it? And usually it's because he has a problem because of drugs, you know, you're in his territory, or a problem over a girl, or these type of things. And he holds this same idea of live life to the max. So we say in this country, on average, every single hour of every single day, so this is every hour, so in the period that we will be in here, there will be 83 burglaries every hour. So in this period we are here, there will be 83 burglaries on average an hour. Now again, we have to ask ourselves a question. What is it? What is it that is making people do this? Is it just they're just 1 or 2 bad people? Or clearly 83 people a day. Calculate that by 7. Calculate that by a month. Calculate that by a year. You see how many people are doing it. And never mind the people who were in prison because they did it previously. These are new people as well who are engaging in it. So there is something wrong. And we understand that this problem that they have is the mentality that they hold in living life to the max. Enjoy yourself. Get what you can get. And be free. Be free. Another problem is, again, if they were so happy, and if these ideas like live life to the max gave them so much contentment, why is it 1 in 3 people in the United Kingdom, again, Home Office statistics, 1 in 3 people have dealt with drugs, have taken drugs in this society? And it's a massive, massive problem. If you go to the under 20s, and it's even higher. Yeah? It's a big problem they have in this society. Drug abuse, people overdosing, drug addiction, alcoholism, all these different problems they have in this society. So brothers, we should be asking ourselves questions. Are these ideas that they have creating any type of happiness? The answer is no. The answer is no. And there's an ayah in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sums up the state of man when he follows his desires. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت من اتخذ إلهه هواءه. He goes, have you seen those people who take their desires as their God? What does that mean? It means your gods. What do you do to God? What do you do to Allah? You worship Allah, isn't it? You obey Allah. When Allah tells you do, you do. You don't ask questions. We hear and we obey. And your desires likewise, they have demands. They want to be satisfied. And unless if you control it, they will make you do these actions that I mentioned here. So what does Allah say? Allah says, have you seen those people who obey and worship and follow their desires? And then he says, أَفَأَنْتَ تَكُونُ عَلَيْهِمْ وَكِيلًا. And he's referring to the Prophet ﷺ. He says, will you be a guardian over them? And then in the following ayah, Allah gives a very damning statement about these people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنْهُمْ إِلَّا كَالْأَنْعَامِ. He goes, they are like the cattle, animals. بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ سَبِيلًا. No, they're not even like the cattle. They are even more misguided than the cattle. Even more misguided than the cattle. Why? Because the cattle can't think. Animals don't think, do they? Animals just fulfill their instincts. And likewise, this mentality of live life to the max and be free tells you, satisfy your instincts. So similar actions to the animal. But there's one big difference. The human being has the aql. He has the mind. He has the brain. Allah has given him a brain to think. So who is more stupid? The one who knows and does something wrong, or the one who doesn't know and does something wrong? It's the one who knows, isn't it? It's the one who knows. Hence Allah says, بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ سَبِيلًا. No, they are even more further astray than the animals. And we see the society around us deteriorating. Every single day you turn the news on. Every day you read the newspapers. This person's been killed. That person's been killed. This problem, rape here, abuse